Hello there, sweetie, Mitch. So let's have a look. The bar graph illustrates the caloric intake of men in different age groups in the United Kingdom. Fantastic. Can be clearly seen that pulses are preferred by people over 50, full stop, or comma, while vegetables are the least consumed caloric products. For the remaining two groups, okay? And what I'm trying to do here is just, first, we don't need enormously, probably don't need undoubtedly either. What I'm trying to do is just reduce the word count and just write in what's essential, okay? Because there's more succinct and concise ways of saying these figures, okay? Over 50 is fine. Also, I'd strongly suggest you read you watch the task 1 modules, the videos there, because there's lots of useful information for writing your introductions and for constructing your essay and finishing the actual paragraph or the actual task. As depicted on the graph, at the early stage of life up to middle age, good. The calorie intake from pulses is mostly below a quarter, good. However, at the age of late adulthood, it rises tremendously to more than 60%. We've already mentioned this factor. We've already mentioned it. So be careful of repetition. Meanwhile, eating vegetables depicts to be the least consumed caloric product since birth up to senescence. Up to old age. I think we've already mentioned that as well. So we don't want to be repeating information. What we do want to be doing is grouping information, okay, and organizing the essay in a more logical way. So we could just start with this paragraph, and then this paragraph. Perhaps group these together because they're the same, okay? And then we can also say it's almost double of the previous group. Okay, it's almost double at 42%. It's almost double the previous group, reaching over 40% of total calorie intake. Okay. Moreover, the consumption of meat products by youth and elderly are the same at 20%. Good. Those at the age of 25 to 49. For those at the age of 25 to 49, the figures rise up to 50%. Which is more than double the other age groups, full stop. In addition, dairy items rank as the highest percentage of caloric intake in ages 0 to 24. Because we've got ages there, we don't have to put years old at the end. Ages signifies its age, its years. So just delete that. And descends gradually over the period of time. To summarize, the foods that are mostly consumed by men are dairy, meat, and pulses. That doesn't say much, okay? What we'd have to say is, to summarize, each age group has a clear preference. The youngest prefer dairy, the middle age prefer, meat, and the eldest prefer pulses. Full stop, okay? But really, just have a look at the module because we finished with overall and we have a much lighter first sentence, which doesn't tell any story. Moving on to task 2. Copyright law is being practiced, so review your use of tenses. Being practiced worldwide and grants the creator of a specific work to be protected and recognized. Good. Some people believe that this law prohibits creativity and it is rewarding. So that's not very clear, okay? So some people believe it prohibits creativity and it's rewarding. Or do some people believe that it prohibits creativity but is also financially rewarding? Okay, so we've got different points of view here. So we should put a conjunction here, but it is rewarding. Okay? but well done for using prohibit creativity. That's very good vocabulary. Others think, no, we've already got the kind of converse, the other side of the view. Okay, so just delete that. This essay will discuss the issue using examples from the arts and novels to demonstrate and prove arguments. Good. Firstly, implementing a copyright law limits creativity. This is due to the fact that it prevents re-engineering the art of an author. For instance, the Mona Lisa painted by Leonardo da Vinci is copied and revised by other painters. As a result, there would is this conditional? If the Mona Lisa, painted by Leonardo, is copied and revised by other painters, there will be tendencies, more revisions. So that doesn't make much sense. I don't really get that. Okay? How could we say this? Let's see. As a result, there will be tendencies that more versions will be out in the market wherein it affects the revenue of an artwork. Okay, not bad. So let's see. For instance, the Mona Lisa, painted by Leonardo da Vinci. So you're saying it is copied, and then you're saying there will be tendencies. So that's the problem here, is the tense. So let's see. It's copied and revised by. As a result, there are more versions out in the market, which affects the value of the artwork. Okay, let's keep it specific and let's keep the tenses coherent. In addition, having this kind of regulation is certainly rewarding. This is because, okay, so we need to follow the sentence guide structure, okay? We've got too many sort of like different points of view here. So here we're talking about the dangers if it's not followed, and then we're saying that it's rewarding, and then we're going to explain why it's rewarding. So don't do that. Let's just keep with the sentence guide structure. Even though it might be basic at first, that's fine. Later we'll work on improving it. Okay. In addition, having this kind of regulation is certainly rewarding. This is because it recognizes the hard work of an artist. For example, Nobel Prizes awarded provide. I don't get that. That needs to be rewritten. Hence, this supplies an idea to society who and where it came from. Unclear. Anyway, just keep it to one single argument. Okay, that's what's taught in the sentence guide. So just delete all of this and just finish with, and just make sure this is clear, and then finish with consequently. Okay, it's not the quality of the argument. It's not the quality of the argument. It's the quality of the communication. And right now, with these issues of the tenses, we're going to be losing points, which is a shame because you've got some really good writing skills. Moreover, without the implementation of this law, it will cause some drawbacks in the society. Okay, this is largely because it affects the moral of the writer. To illustrate this, the architectural design made by architects are copied and published by others and gain praises. So are we talking about writers or architects? This is coherence, okay? So say the moral of the original creator. Therefore, it discredits the original author of designs. Okay? So therefore, the copyright protection protects the author from being copied. Okay? Let's just keep it coherent. To conclude, copyright law does limit creativity in a positive manner, which protects the interest of an individual. Good. Also, by recognizing an artwork, honor and glory are bestowed on the creator. Full stop. By developing this kind of law, there will be more benefits. There will be more financial benefits. Full stop. And security. Or more financial benefits and security. Full stop. Okay, so good work. What I want you to do is just write with following the acronym closer. Okay, and if you do find that it's a short paragraph like this, then we can just put furthermore and add an additional argument. But first we need to get full control of these paragraphs, okay? So, Good work. What I want you to do is implement all the corrections you've heard, make a list of the mistakes, write me 2 new essays and send them together in one email. Okay, because then it doesn't get confusing. Send them together with one email with the corrected essays and a list of the mistakes, and then check those 2 new essays for issues such as the tense and the tenses and let's see the grammar mistakes. Okay, so good work. Let's keep on writing.